Hey everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video, we'll be continuing this retrospective unbagging unboxing series with the second issue of Imperium, which probably came out, I really wish these things had dates, probably 2022-ish, I think, at least here in Australia. So previous video, at least for Imperium, we started through issue 1, going through issue 2, and then from issues 3 onwards is pretty much when I went straight to a direct subscription. So I'm hoping this is also the last issue that has some of the subscription promotional content. Anyway, what did issue 2 come with? So issue 2 here, so we're going through some of the Necron contents. Before we delve into the issue too much, obviously what I just mentioned about the little subscription information, we have the one for the original UK and then the one more for Australia, New Zealand. Now I do believe, which is unfortunate, the UK were very lucky in that you could do a premium subscription and get yourself some Chaos, Tyranids, Tau and Orcs. Australia, unfortunately, not so much, but that's okay. I'm hanging out for Combat Squad, hopefully in the next few months. So hopefully this will be the last time I see this. Now, before I get too carried away as well, during the later unboxings, etc., there will be some bonus content that comes my way. In a few videos time, I think probably the one corresponding for issue 4, there'll be some modeling kits, there'll be a binders at some point in time as well, some brush sets, a painting handle, and in theory some art prints as well. So definitely interested to see how the rest of this goes, especially given that there are some things here that I will not need to pick up. Anyway, so that was the promotional stuff, and as I said, from issue 3 onwards I did switch over to the actual direct subscription. The other thing that will be included is obviously some kits, well, minis, more to the point. In fact, front of the magazine says it, 3 miniatures, paint and a brush. So we'll get 3 Necron warriors, a paint and brush. Interesting to see how the paint actually goes, even though it's been unopened, it's been a few years, it may have died. Which possibly means some water, ball bearing and a vortex mixer could come in handy. Anyway, let's talk about issue 2. So, issue 2, what do we have here? Necrons. Discover obviously the Necron warriors, how to paint them, and we'll have another continuation of a playthrough again, which I do find is a bit handy, especially for me who's been out of it for about 4 or 5 editions. So Necron warriors, pretty much going through some of their equipment and some of their general attributes and elements. I do like how Necron warriors now actually don't look so copy and paste. So you actually have some different variations between them now. A bit of the Necron dynasty, or you know what, let's leave that. A bit more information about the Ultramarines, and then pretty much the steps on how to build the Necron warriors, which is very nice. So pretty much the 3 different Necron warrior types, and then starting some steps on how to paint. I will admit, when I first saw this, I thought this particular image here was a bit meta, given that, yeah, a little bit weird. Paints, tools, and some of these things that will hopefully start appearing in later issues. No paint coupler. So some of these Citadel tools that you would use to paint, the brushes, the water pot, you don't have to use anything that fancy. And obviously how to paint, the wet palette, or a palette. I've always used dry palette, maybe one of these days I'll try a wet palette, time will tell. And then pretty much how to paint the Necron warriors and the Royal Warden with a base of, what is it, Broomlord Brass. Finished models. Obviously, as more issues go on, I'll probably repaint these with the other paint colours that come through, and then the playthrough. So this time we now have the Necron Warriors versus the Primaris Lieutenant from issue 1. And just going through basically some movement and shooting phase, as well as a saving, saves and wound phase. Sadly, none of the Necron Warriors died, and I think the Primaris Lieutenant did take a wound. So that wasn't too bad. So definitely reading through those, especially for those who either haven't played and or haven't played a very long time, was actually quite handy. In fact, just looking at this section, I learned about the whole concept of advanced. Well, advanced, not so much advanced. Obviously, talk about the subscription service, and then a preview of what's coming up. So, in terms of this retrospective series, issue 3 will be back to the Ultramarines. There'll be a paint pot and 3 intercessors, and then issue 4 will switch back to the Necrons with another base paint pot and 3 destroyers, which is interesting because back in the day destroyers were so very different for me. I didn't play Necrons back then. I did know a friend or two who did pick up the Necrons back in 3rd edition. I'm pretty sure they came out 3rd edition. Yeah, Necrons were very different back then. So that is pretty much the general flavour of what issue 2 was. Now, in terms of the little extra bits to build an army, so we have 3 bases for the Necron Warriors. I don't know how well this is going to show up because I haven't taken them out of the actual plastic box. It's amazing how all of this has pretty much gone into a plastic concept. As I said, the last time when I stopped playing 40k, Necrons were becoming plastic, but still. As I mentioned, my first iteration of Necrons were not plastic. We do have the bottle of paint there, which, as I said, could go either way. And there is a paintbrush, which is just a starter brush. Not sure if you're supposed to base paint with that, but hey, apparently you can. So that was what was included with issue 2. Now, before I went into the subscription model, issues 1 and 2 were pretty much available at local retail, at least the place that I actually picked up issues 1 and 2 before I switched to subscription. It did get to a point where obviously, we well and truly stopped selling them retail, and the subscription had kicked off probably around when issues 3 and 4 would have come out. So the actual newsagent that I got them from actually basically put some stuff into the discount bin. So in that discount bin, in the end, I got some extra bits and bobs. So one of the extra bits and bobs I got was pretty much what was released with issue 2. So I actually have an extra 3 Necron Warriors, an extra brush, and an extra bottle of paint. So that is very cool. It does give me a bit of a 3 warrior head start and or things to trial things on. But what I also was able to snag was the bargain bins of what was included with issue 1. Obviously it's the same between both, but it does mean I have 12 extra dice and a total of an extra 2 lieutenants and 2 of the, I can't remember what Necron that was. So yes, I'm actually doing quite well right now. Now it's unfortunate there's not too much I can do in the way of customizations. I mean, it's pretty much preset war gear, which is okay. I'll probably use one to make an actual proper lieutenant. Another one could end up being a test bed, and the other one might end up being a sergeant for a squad. I don't know, time will tell. As I said, it's been a long time, but I'm definitely interested to see how this goes. So, yes, if Combat Squad ever gets released locally, I'm hoping the same thing will happen, so I can at least get a few extra models. However, in saying that, as I said back in the previous episode, release video, whatever you wish to call it, there are people at work who play 40k, so I've got competition now. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the retrospective unbagging, can't even say box, it didn't really come in a box, of Imperium issue number 2. Now I've been rummaging around my back store to make sure that I've got stuff, so I definitely have the last few issues, so it goes all the way up to issue 90. I may have seen the issue that has the first parts of Robrute Gilliman. I'm still floored by that, but hey, take it or leave it. So if this is issue 2, 88 more videos. And hopefully by then, Combat Squad is out, so I can actually do that in parallel. Never did I think I'd actually ever go back to 40k like this, but here we are. I'm also hoping to try and pick up a Necron Codex in the near future, because I think I'm going to need it. Anyway, as I said, pretty much the end of the retrospective look at Imperium issue 2. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. I will try and get these to be a bit progressively shorter as we continue through the series. Hopefully try and get it to the 10-minute mark, if not a little bit less. In terms of the likes and the comments, it does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it, especially now that I'm delving into the 40k side of things. I'll probably look at Privateer Press prior to Mark IV, because that was another part of my gaming life that also came to an abrupt end. But yes, definitely be interesting the next few months as I bring that into my portfolio of whatever. Anyway, extra stuff can be found on my Instagram account, link in the description. Otherwise, same handle as the channel. With that all being said and done, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in the retrospective video of issue 3, or possibly some other video on the channel. See ya.